Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video. Today's video is the long-awaited number 2 in the series of the Hidden Gems. So this is the ships that are, well, actually I find quite nice, but yeah, they may not be the most famous or the most powerful ships out there, but they are definitely things that I like to play and are definitely worth a look. And at number 2, we have the Tier 8 British battleship, the Monarch, which after King George V is a nice return to something with a little bit of power. And it is a configuration that is fairly standard from British battleships from this point onwards, which is 2 turrets at the front with 6 guns and 3 guns in the single turret in the rear, which means that it's a little bit of battle tanking opportunity. We fired some shots at that guard Yamada to wake him up and get him moving, and he seems to be moving. I have no idea why that should be the case, that players only move when a friendly player shoots at them. It's like the shot activated. Anyway, we're an epicenter, and we are lending our hit points to the to our team. What generally happens in these games is that the middle gets taken up by some destroyers. And what we're attempting to do here is, provide those destroyers with a little bit of cover. Probably a high-risk strategy, but we'll take it anyway. A lot of the enemy teams seem to be firing over the top, not quite believing that a battleship is going to drive for the centre. I'm going to drive for that island and see if it provides me with a little bit of cover. Now, one of the reasons that the Monarch is a great little gem is that, well, its armor's no worse than something like the North Carolina, but its guns are no worse than something like the North Carolina when it comes to AP, but when it comes to HE, the guns have a phenomenal fire chance, which is fantastic. So you end up spending a lot of battles with your HE, doing a lot of the work, and what it makes the ship is very, very multi-role. So if, for example, you find yourself dealing with a long-range battleship, you try and set them on fire again. But if you end up facing destroyers, well, you set them on fire. So that HE is obviously very useful against those types of targets. Here we are with the Colorado, who's got the same idea that I've got, but he's not quite as fast, and he hasn't got the island to sort of hide behind and shield him from the worst of the enemy team. So yeah, it's probably a little bit unusual to use a battleship in this situation, but hey, if it works, that's all good. And he is getting absolutely focused fire, which means I no longer have to worry about him. I am going to have to worry about those ships going around the flank there, but yeah, the way to deal with that is to put the island between us and them, because there's more of them over there, and straight ahead of us we have a Richelieu, who's actually got a bit of attention on his hands because I've gone into the centre of this rather large epicenter space. The team, thankfully, seems to have got the hint, and so I've got a bit of backing. Now I'm going to take a bit of punishment. And just so that you're aware, the captain in this ship is the David Beatty captain, which means that we do have the improved heal, which we're making absolute use of. I think we actually might have, yes, I'm just looking to see what that heal icon is at the bottom. I may have been using this ship in a different capacity, so we may have premium repair kits, but let's, anyway, we've switched to AP, and the New Orleans goes down, which means that we're really just dealing with that Richelieu, and there's enough guys going around the outside that I don't really do. Well, okay, then I'll flick around the outside as well, try and get myself clear of those enemy ships that are roving on the other side of the map, because I have taken a bit of a beating. Here's the Richelieu. He's been driven right out of the centre. He's basically, he's been driven right out of the out of any sort of value. So he's not really contributing. He's providing fire at us, but yeah, he's yeah, he's really been pushed quite severely out of the middle of the action. So here we are, we're heading back in. We have ourselves a nice little North Carolina here. No camo in the North Carolina. It's a good way of assessing whether or not the player is a dedicated North Carolina player or just passing through. A couple of fires, getting quite a lot of fires in this game, so 42,000 hit points worth of damage. We grab yet another cap. So we that would be potentially our fourth, I think. Get another fire going. Punch the rapid reload, and we're just going to try and burn this guy out. Now his health is heading down, so he's actually not too far off where I am. So yeah, it's turning into a bit more of a fair fight. Well, a little bit unfair, because obviously someone on the other side of him has really managed to take it out of him. We have the Algerie here, who's showing a lot of broadside. And probably the important thing to mention about my David Beattie captain is that he has IFHE, so we've punched straight through to the Citadel with the HE. I am getting severely punished here. So what I'm doing is reversing, putting a lot of angle between me and the enemy ships, so that I can maximize the amount of time it actually takes to take me out of the game. Because at this point we're 3 versus 2. We're ahead on points, and what I need to do is try and get one of those suckers out of the game, because if we get it down to a single ship, we've got, with this sort of points advantage, we've got it in the bag. But as you can see, may not last much longer. We get one final shot out on the Algerie. The North Carolina deals with this. I take out the Algerie, and the North Carolina takes out the Monarch, which leaves one enemy ship severely damaged. They've got the 2 center zones, but they haven't held them for long enough. Got 82,000 damage, and that's what makes this a hidden little gem. It's just so capable in so many different situations. It's not fantastic at anything. It's not, like the best for damage. It's not the best for tanking, but it's just a general fantastical rounder with that high-powered HE. A lot more capable of defending itself on those maps where you have a high destroyer count. And look at those medals come in. Gotta love the Monarch. Absolute little gem. I love it. Yeah, absolutely smacks the enemy to pieces. As you can see there, 13 fires, 5 capture zones. Not too bad in a reasonably high tier battleship. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That's hidden gem number 2, the Monarch. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.